You got scrambled eggs for brains.
You got donkey brains.
You got combos in them ears. Gotta catch some girls. Gotta catch some girls.
I was referencing Always Sunny, but you were referencing Make Me Bad.
Indeed. Do they have scrambled eggs for brains too?
No, I said donkey brains.
Yeah. I love Frank.
Franco.
Both Franks. Frank versus Wank versus Spank.
Versus
Crank
Wank.
versus Tank.
Dempsey.
Dempsey, yeah, that's what I was about to say too. That's funny, the first thing we think of when we hear Tank is Tank Dempsey.
Well, zombies had quite the impact on us.
Yeah. That was like the inception of our friendship practically. I don't know if that's completely
Halo.
true. I think it definitely grew it. I think Halo was though.
Halo
yeah.
was the start of us, I think, as
Yeah.
friendos.
Though yeah. And then we got, I think we were still a bit into Halo, especially you back in the day, but we got more into zombies.
Yeah.
At least when we'd come and play here
Mm-hmm.
together, at least. But yeah, and zombies used to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, well, we just played the crap out of it, so there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new, and part of it a lot of it for me at least was the storyline. I mentioned this
Yeah.
on the channel before, but I'm into story, and they just crapped on it.
Yeah, they
So I just lost a lot of
It's
interest
just
at
a
that point too.
dream. It's just kids and their imagination.
That's like the biggest cop out. I hate those.
I know.
The dream or they were like in purgatory or something.
Yeah,
they were
the
dead.
whole
to
none
look
of it's
at.
real.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all stupid.
Yeah, I mean the Sixth Sense I think started that trend. So I'm not gonna. I think it was fine then because
it was Super Mario 2 actually.
Did that come out before Sixth Sense?
I have no idea.
It may have actually, but yeah, I think that one did it good too. But I think it's overdone, and
Yeah.
I think it's usually done stupid. Especially when there's a lore. Like Sixth Sense is a movie that no one cares about anymore.
Mhm.
It was just a thing at some point, and now some people quote it sometimes. But like zombies had like a fan base and a lore, not like what you think of now with like Undertale or Steven
Yeah,
Universe,
right,
where
or
there's like
Cancer.
there's literal hordes of fan fiction and
Steven.
stuff. Like a fan base back in the day used to be like there's people who like to
Oh
play
yeah, we
it.
love this thing.
And they
yeah.
sometimes like to play it together,
Yeah.
and that's the end of it.
Yeah,
Now it's
exactly.
like, we like to have sex in their costumes and draw hentai boob dicks of them, and also
I mean-
genocide people who don't like the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. How could you not like Understanding?
Yeah, exactly. That's from Omega Rubier
Mm-hmm.
that I showed Tom today.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Dude,
I
yeah,
loved it.
I think
It
it's
just shows how stupid. That's why. Also, Julian was talking about that on Oni Place this week.
yeah, that's
being
honest.
part of fandoms.
Yeah.
I'm like, at first I was like, oh, there's nothing wrong with being part of a fandom, but then as he was talking about it more, I was like, oh man,
On multiple episodes
this
too, he
is not
mentioned
good.
it. Yeah.
Fandoms are terrible because like, at least they've become terrible. Because I
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to think
exactly.
like, yeah, I'm part of the Star Wars fandom. You know, I love Star Wars. It's my favorite thing in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, oh, I wish I was in Star Wars. Oh, Anakin. Fuck me, Anakin. You're my daddy.
Anakin. What did they say in that episode? They recently made him say, oh, he was at the high ground and he threw sand in his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sand, it's of course.
I loved it in Oni Plays when they were making fun of prequel Anakin. It's
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's fault.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's the best way for me to start, I don't know, to have an endearment towards you. I don't know if that's the right word, that's kind of more of a creepy way of saying it maybe. But just to like start liking you potentially with less reason than there should be. It's just like if you say you hate Undertale and Steven Universe,
Yeah.
either or, I'm just like, oh, you're awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're one of my kind. And it's not even
We on the same wavelength.
it's not even the content. of
Mhm.
course, like we've mentioned, and like Julian and everyone, I think, who doesn't like the thing say, it's just the fan bases are
Yeah.
so trash.
Yeah, I might have considered playing Undertale at some point if the fans were like, "Oh, hey, this is a good game. Maybe you should try it out."
Yeah, I was.
Instead of it them being like, "How have you not played Undertale yet?
Yeah.
You are literally a cancer on society."
How did you not know papyrus doesn't like spaghetti?
Papyrus is my husband, though.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
enjoying
weird.
something is bad. You know, obviously, like
Yeah.
liking Star Wars, like I love Star Wars or Halo or Witcher or Mass Effect or everything that we like. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's when you're cancer.
It's the old fandom.
Yeah.
It's
The classical fandom is the good fandom. It's like classical feminism instead of
Yeah.
intersectional feminism.
Or intersectional racism.
Yeah, that too.
Old racism.
Old racism is A-okay in my book. It's all good in the hood.
I just invalidated everything we just said for the
I
past
don't hate
10 hours.
black people. I just don't like people's skin darker than. No. I'm not racist. I just don't like people's skin darker than mine. Or people who pray to shrines because they're dirty.
And if anyone couldn't tell, that part was a joke, that I'm not actually into racism.
No, I actually don't like people's skin darker than mine.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Well, actually, if like white people do tan to where they look like a black person, but like it's a little bit off.
It's blackface! It's racist! How dare you!
Well, not that part, but they just it doesn't quite look like a black person. It's kind of look like a Rana banana.
It makes them look like an Oompa Loompa.
Like they get like the rings around their features, like their mouth
it's
too.
like Trump.
Yeah. Well, he's a bit different. He doesn't look like
He has the
overburned.
raccoon eyes though.
No, yeah, but he's like, but he's not like the burn version. He's like,
He's still orange though.
yeah, he's got the same effect. I know, but I just mean he's like oranger, you know?
But he still looks hideous.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's any better.
Uh-huh.
It's just as bad. In fact, it may be worse because
Yeah, okay.
it makes no sense. But
Okay,
I'm just saying, like, I was just talking about like he's orange and normal is like more. And a white person who tans a bit too much starts to look kind of Mexican, you know?
Yeah.
And then if it's like cancer amounts of tanning, then it turns
Any
into...
amount of tanning is cancer amount of tanning. Trust
Yeah,
me.
but like actual like you have cancer everywhere now, and you're going to
Well,
die
that's what
at
it
like
does,
30.
though.
Yeah.
Because
Well, yeah,
you
true.
are essentially just
Yeah.
toasting your skin with cancer.
Yeah, true. But I mean, when you start to look black.
Yeah.
And like kind of black, like, but there's a. What I mean is like Trump still. He's different because it's orange. Is all I meant.
He's different
That-
because he's
It's-
in my heart. You'll always be in my heart. Donnie,
I'm not even
Donnie.
trying to support him in
He's
that
my
statement.
favorite person in the whole wide world.
I'm
you know?
just saying, literally all I meant is that he's orange.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it could potentially be worse even, because it's not even, it's the least natural looking thing. He does look like a carrot man. Though I guess that is natural if you eat a bunch of carrots, right? Not saying that that's what he did, but like, disclaimer.
I don't think that's actually true. I don't think your skin turns orange if you eat a bunch of carrots.
Isn't there?
I think that's an old wives' tale, or that's something your mom told you to scare you shitless when you eat too many carrots.
Well, my mom did. If anything, my parents tried to. Well, my mom and my grandma, at the very least, tried to get me to eat more vegetables.
Yeah, right.
But, I feel like there was some vegetable that if you eat enough of it, your skin starts to change a pigmentation a little bit at least. But maybe that's
the
just-
only thing I've heard of is your shit changing pigmentation.
Does it? I know you
Yeah,
can
if
get
you-
white.
if
How
you
do you
eat-
get a white?
I have no idea. If you eat a lot of green stuff, your poop turns green.
Or Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that too. Or sliders from White Castle.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Have you ever had an actual slider from White
No.
Castle? Okay.
I was thinking
Do
of,
they have
of the
veggie
veggie
sliders?
sliders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I immediately agreed because I was like, oh yeah,
Is
veggie
it the
sliders.
exact same? Did you get the shits from that too?
No.
Okay. But did you have green shit?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I paid attention. I usually don't pay attention, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with poop actually.
Yeah, that is actually a conversation I had with Zach.
Yeah.
But he was the losing party, so it is nice to have someone else who has the same viewpoint, because it was like a big discussion with like John. I didn't finish his last
Yeah,
name.
I know what you mean.
Andrew, Linus, maybe even Bonds, but it was like a bunch of us. And he's like, "Oh yeah, aren't you just like fascinated with your feces? You just like look, you can't tell me you're never curious. You just like look in there and you want to look at it and see what it looks like."
I always look at my friends, literally every time.
Literally all the rest of us were like, "No, what the heck?" But though I was more squeamish about that sort of thing as a kid, so I was actually like, "What the devil are you talking about?" at that point.
Yeah.
But now you telling it to me, I'm like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I can understand it actually now. Granted, I'm just more chill now and less squeamish, I guess. I don't know, a bit different. I've grown in my brain. It's swelling, kind of going to die.
Hopefully.
But yeah, it just reminded me of that.
How have you not played Undertale yet? Yeah. You are literally a cancer on society.
How did you not know papyrus is like spaghetti?
Papyrus is my husband, though.